Hey everyone. The audio for this segment was really bad, so I'm going to do my best to try to summarize what it is that we're talking about here. So the day has finally come for us to take down our gigantic black walnut tree. This tree has been here at least as long as our cabin. Our cabin was built we think in the 1780s, and actually we got confirmation from the tree surgeon that the tree itself was about 300 to 350 years old, so a very old tree. A relative of the original owners came to visit us, and he said he last saw the property in 1953, and the tree was huge then. We have a watercolor painting of the cabin that was taken from a photo that was taken in 1950s, and you can clearly see it there. So this is something that has been a signature part of the cabin and the land that it sits on for as long as the cabin's been here. Right now, it's 2.5 stories tall, and it's 6 feet in diameter. It's not really something we wanted to do, and it's not something that we take lightly, even though it does drop walnuts on our metal roof in the middle of the night during the summertime. Our cat Mango also made the tree her home. There's a knot in one of the lower branches that she would use as like a little apartment to sleep in. So it's beautiful, it was being used, but there are sizable dead branches that are falling off the thing. They're falling into the road, and we suspect the base of the tree is rotted out, so it's really kind of a safety thing at this point. It's infested with carpenter ants, and the other large tree that we recently took down, it was a locust tree. We recently took it down, and it was completely hollowed out in the bottom of the trunk, and it was huge. It was like 4.5 feet in diameter, and it was only standing because it had poison oak growing all through it. That was basically holding it up like scaffolding. So it's kind of a sad day, but it's also kind of a day that we're just going to move the whole cabin and property forward, and it really is a safety thing. We get a lot of wind, really high wind coming through the mountains here. And every time we get a windstorm, we're just, a little worried that something might happen. Either a branch will break off and hit our car, or the whole thing would just come down. And it just doesn't make any sense to live with that kind of risk. So what we'll do is we'll talk about what it takes to do something like this. We'll show you everything. And at the end, we'll tell you, how many guys it took, what equipment they needed, and we'll give you the numbers as what this costs, just in case any of you have an enormous tree that maybe you're thinking about taking down. You can see what's involved. So if you haven't already, smash that like button, share the show with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We hope you enjoy the video. There's the house. That's Christina. This is the tree. It's huge. Today's the day. Fun stuff's getting here. And just because we didn't have enough wood, we're gonna add some more wood today to the wood pile. That's what this says to me. Needs more wood.
Maybe you can see what Mango's little house looks like.
Yeah. Maybe I can section off and build a little stand for it.
So here you go. Doesn't quite have the same views.
I know we've got a crane, and we've got an enormous wood chipper. And we got everybody gearing up. So this guy is going to go up on the crane, up to the top. They're going to clear off a little bit to give them a little bit more room around the crane. And then they're going to start picking sections, tying a sling to the crane, and then cutting and then lowering to the ground. I think that is the game plan.
this was the last branch that came off. Check that out. So this was a wound in the tree. It was covering like the bottom 3 or 4 feet of this major branch. Everything above it is dense and intact. So that is just begging to snap off, either hit our house, hit us, or somebody driving by. So that's glad we're taking care of that. So check this out. This is exactly why we did this. That's all hollow. That's all rotted. I mean, you can just pick out the pieces and they just crumble. And that was extending up about 5 feet into the trunk. You can see, looking at this picture here, how far up it went. This was an excellent idea and very timely. Very, very happy. As reluctant as we were to take this tree down, very, very happy we did.
So what did we do with all that wood? Well, I had a friend of mine was very excited to learn that I'd just taken down an ancient black walnut tree. Michael Colella, he is a wood turner and wand maker at the Renaissance Festival in Maryland. He's got a stall there. And so he turned us these lovely black walnut bowls that he made. And I'll put his information in the description so you can get in contact if you want to check out his stuff. We had, I would estimate, probably about 2 cords of wood come out of that. It was a massive amount of branches that I needed to cut up with a chainsaw and split and stack. And I think we burned the last of it this year. We had a little bit of it left, and it burns great. Dry black walnut is great for the fireplace and the wood stove. So at the end of the day, as much as we did not want to take this tree down, it was a really good idea to do. I can tell you, a year and a half later, we don't miss the walnuts in the middle of the night during the summertime. That was like a gunshot going off at 2 o'clock in the morning or whenever. I do miss the shade. So in the summertime, the light track on our property changes pretty significantly from the wintertime, and the sun goes right over top of our cabin and just roasts it. And that tree was really nice shade, and it provided shade to the front yard. So I do miss that. And of course, we miss, Mango having her home. But all in all, I think this was the right thing to do. So let's talk shop. We went with a company called Charlottesville Tree Service. The guys were great. Really good professionalism. They had, a meeting beforehand about safety. They worked really well together. Martin was my contact guy. He was great. Gave me a fair quote and executed and did everything they said they were going to do when they said they were going to do it. So I would definitely go with them again for any sort of large or small tree project that I needed done in my yard. So for this job, it took, the equipment that they used was an 18-ton crane. So you need a crane operator. And they also used a gigantic wood chipper. It took things up to 18 inches in diameter. It was just massive. And to rent that was somewhat expensive. So all said and done, everything was about $4,000. It was $3,250 for the actual tree takedown, and that's including the crane time and the chipper. And it was another $750 for the stump grinding. So this is 2020 or 2021 prices. I imagine, like everything else, this has gotten a little bit more expensive, but not bad. I mean, it was a humongous tree, and they did a really, really good job. So money well spent. We can sleep better, and just feel better knowing that our house is safe from anything the wind can really throw at it at this point. So for those of you that stuck around to the end, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again soon.